Everyone. Good morning. I am so excited to spend some time with you today, and I'm laughing at myself because I halfway got ready, but I feel like I'm going to have to take a course on how to learn how to be an acceptable human being in society when we actually start leaving the house again. So I just wanted to say welcome to my live. Today I want to walk you through 3 reasons why you should consider joining the digital economy. And this is something that I wanted to just kind of host like a little training per se, and have this be something that we can talk about and you can ask questions about as we go through. But it's one of the number one things that people ask. Hey, Brian Scott, I see you. And Kristen from Slovakia. Good morning. Okay, so I want to talk about the digital economy. And when I say that, you might be wondering, what is she talking about? But essentially, the digital economy is booming right now, specifically with the climate that we are in, the year that we are in. And so when I was thinking about what the digital economy has meant for me, I came up with just 3 different reasons that I wanted to share with you today. So as we go through this, feel free to ask questions. I'll do a little Q&A at the end. And so let's begin. So here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining the digital economy. So the first one is this. Are you currently trading your time for money? Let me explain. If you were to stop doing what you're currently doing for work, would the paychecks stop coming in? For example, when I was a wedding photographer, we went through just kind of a darker season as a family, trying to grow our family. And I realized I still have to show up and shoot these weddings no matter what life is handing me right now. And I recognized, oh my gosh, I am trading time for money. The second that I stop shooting, holding my camera, showing up, the second the money stops coming in. And so one thing about being in the digital economy in the sense of selling things online is that it helps take away that feeling that you have to constantly show up. So what I mean by this is that the digital economy or creating digital products, whether it's an online course or a template or a free guide or whatever that is, it's scalable, right? So think about this. Imagine this. You create something one time and you are able to sell it over and over and over again without you doing more physical work, right? You get to put all of your good stuff into one place and then you get to sell it to multiple people. So one thing that I always look for when it comes to business is it scalable? Is it something that can expand without the same amount of effort being given every single time it's sold? Does this make sense? So someone just said you can make money in your sleep. That's exactly right. Which is kind of crazy. I literally remember the first time I woke up and I opened up my inbox and there was an email saying I sold something. And I was like, wait, I was sleeping. That's insane. Or this last weekend, I took a long weekend with my family and totally logged off. And I came back online to just see that we had been selling products and courses to students that were getting results. And that was while my family and I were hanging out and hiking. So as we think about the digital economy, I just want for you to ask yourself, am I doing something where I am trading time for money? And the only way for me to grow is to spend more time and more energy, because that will be your first indicator that you need to maybe start thinking about different opportunities that will allow you to scale and that will allow you to create something once, but drive impact, drive results, and drive sales multiple times. So number one thing I love about the digital economy, it has absolutely changed my life. And it's just something that I really want to get out specifically in this season where our energy and our time has never been more limited, right? The second thing is, and I want for you to think about this, give me hearts if this is making sense. The way we learn is changing. I mean, it has absolutely colossally evolved over the last year, right? There's virtual learning happening. There is distance learning happening. People are having to learn how to work remote. If you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to work remote for your job, you're likely doing that. And so when we look at the way that things are changing in the world, there has never been a better time to enter the digital market. And so when I think about this last year for me and my business, I remember when quarantine hit, it was actually this really interesting revelation of like, our team has always been remote. I'm always remote. All I need is my laptop to do my job. And so it's incredible because the way that we learn is changing, but also the way that we can teach is changing. So think about so many teachers that are having to learn how to teach online, that are used to being in person. Like, it is all shifting. The world as we know it is shifting. And so I was laughing the other day because Coco loves Sesame Street, like loves Sesame Street. And on Sesame Street, how many of you have children and you know what I'm talking about? There's QWERTY. And QWERTY is this little phone or tablet, I don't know what it is, where you look it up. So it's like, if we don't know something, we look it up. Now, if this was Sesame Street back when we were children, it would be like, grab an encyclopedia, child, and learn. But now we're even teaching our children, when you don't know something, you look it up. So much education is happening online, whether you're looking to install cabinets on YouTube or you're trying to learn how to do this new diet that you want to do. We're looking things up constantly, and we're constantly looking for resources that teach us how to move from before to after quicker. I was talking to one of my team members yesterday, and I was like, don't you hate when you go on to YouTube and you're just trying to find a quick solution to a problem and you end up watching this like 20-minute video and it didn't actually teach you anything? And you're like, dang it, like I would have paid $10 to just get the fast answer and not waste my time. And so the digital economy, digital learning, digital teaching, online courses, all of that is saying, let me get you from point A to point B. Sure, you might be able to look it up, but you might risk wasting your time, wasting your energy, not finding the best blueprint, not understanding the correct order of the steps. And for me, that's never been more true. We just recently went through potty training with Coco. And I had gotten this book all about potty training. And I'm reading this book. And in my head, I'm like, I would gladly pay $50 to watch a 30-minute course on how to do this versus reading. I don't have the bandwidth to read about potty training for hours on end. And it made me realize like there are so many different gifts that we all have, so much experience that we can share. And it doesn't have to be this like earth-shattering, start to finish, fully transform your life, become a millionaire stuff. It could be these micro things that we're teaching and making a greater impact. So I just want for you to think, if you're thinking, oh, the digital world, I don't know. Think about how we are learning is absolutely changing and transforming, and start to understand that people are looking for solutions to problems that you've already solved, right? Like, isn't that insane? I often tell people that you are so close to your own genius. Like, you think certain things are common sense when they're actually mind-blowing and life-changing for other people. Imagine that, right? Like, you have this gift, this knowledge. Life has taught you something, or school has taught you something, or you've gotten a license to teach something, and life has given you this experience to share with the world, but you are so close to your own genius that you're like, everybody knows that. It's so common sense. Like, you could Google that and find it. Guess what? Google it. You're probably not going to find it in a concise way, or you're not going to find the exact steps that you take. You have these superpowers, and the moment that you understand that, it's like this enlightenment. It helps you to realize that you don't have to know everything about everything. You just need to be one step ahead, one chapter ahead of those who are behind you that want that result that you've gotten yourself or you've gotten other people. Can I get an amen to this? Because I just wish I could like be with you and like shake you by the shoulders and be like, those things you've gone through didn't happen for no reason. Those things that life has taught you can help other people. Those things that you know that come so easily to you, that's not by chance. Those are your gifts. And when you start to share those gifts with the world, dang it, you are going to make a bigger impact. I don't know of anyone else in the world that isn't thinking, gosh, I just want to make a difference. Like, I want my life to mean something. I want to make the world a better place. And while I led with the fact that you can make profits online, I think that impact a lot of the time is that deeper calling that we are too afraid to answer to, but that we deeply desire. Okay, you still with me? I love the amens. Awesome. Okay, number 3. This is kind of along the lines of what we were just talking about. You get to take what you learn, what you've learned along the journey, what life has taught you, the things that you found yourself in forums and Googling at 3 a.m., you get to take all of that and save someone else from that. For me, this year, I have learned so much that time is our currency. I've said it a million times. Time is our currency. And I've recognized when I felt maybe more stretched in a season as a mom and as a CEO and trying to make sure that everything is just continuing in motion, even when it feels like the world stops, that time is so valuable, right? Like, we cannot get time back. And so when I think of the fact that you have been through these things that have taken you time, that have maybe given you frustration, that have led to heartbreak, and you've navigated them because you are so strong and you've made it through, you get to save people from that same pain, from the same weeks and months troubleshooting, from the same confusion, the same mistakes. And that is one of the reasons why I just keep showing up, because I'm almost a decade into entrepreneurship. Man, have I made a lot of mistakes. Holy crap. But I've also been able to save people from those same mistakes by sharing them. And so I think that there's something beautiful when we realize that the things that have happened to us, or the experiences we've encountered, or the hardships we've navigated, those didn't happen to us in vain. They happened to us so that we can help other people navigate those things. For example, I've given this example before, but when we went through our miscarriages, I spent, oh my gosh, you guys, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours researching. Now, I am not a fertility doctor. I am not a specialist, but dang it, I know a heck of a lot of information about miscarriage because life taught me that I needed to know this stuff. And that information has been able to help me and allow me to walk through loss with other women and have just some information that I can pass along to keep them from being in those forums that feel like a death sentence, and to keep them going through that darkness. And so I just want for you to know that when you can take like your mess and turn it into your message, my coach Dean Graziosi says that all the time, take your mess and turn it into your message. Man, like, it can light your soul on fire. I don't know about you, but like, creativity this year feels like it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And when we feel like we're actually making a difference in sharing what we've been through so that other people don't have to experience what we've experienced, or so that they can speed up their results, it totally can transform everything. So to recap, how is this going? How are you guys doing? You're still with me. So 3 reasons to consider the digital economy. Number 1, you can scale. So you're not just trading your time for money. Number 2, the way we learn is changing, and it's time to get ahead of that curve. I don't want for you to be behind. I don't want for you to miss out. And number 3, you get to take what you know and impact the world with it. Okay? So I want to let you in on something that I'm going to be at today. You can't even get in today because it's full, but it's really, really important. And it talks about all of these things, but way more in depth. One of my best friends in the entire world, Amy Porterfield, is leading webinars. And I learned from Amy. So how many of you on here listen to the Gold Digger podcast? I sincerely hope you do. Well, I was an avid listener of Amy's podcast. In fact, the other day, Amy was voice texting me, and Drew goes, every time I hear her voice, I remember you listening to her in the shower at her old house. Like, he's like, every time I'm just transported back. And I was that girl that every single week she dropped an episode, I tuned in. Well, I became a student of hers, and so much of what I know about the digital economy and digital courses specifically is from Amy. Like, we are soul sisters when it comes to marketing and getting education out into the world, and also creating income that can scale without adding more work. And so Amy is teaching a webinar. It's the 5 behind the scenes secrets of digital course creation. And I have 3 reasons why I really want for you to consider going to this training. So first off, I'll be there, but that's not one of the reasons. You can sign up for that training at learnfromamy.com. If you want to type that in, that would be awesome. Learnfromamy.com. So here are the 3 reasons why I want for you to attend Amy's webinar. So first, see if her teaching style resonates. There are certain teachers where you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm learning everything. I'm taking notes. The way they explain this is perfect. So I think that we need to continue being forever students. Like, I am a forever student. I am always learning. So first, just see if Amy's teaching style resonates with you, because when I learn from Amy, it is like, I've listened to some of her podcast episodes like 5-6 times, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love how she is teaching this. I'm getting it. It makes sense to me. So first, just learn from Amy. See if her teaching style resonates. The second reason why I want for you to attend this is to see somebody doing the work that they teach. Okay, listen to me here. This is so important. So many times people teach and you're like, do they actually walk the walk, right? Like, they might be so far removed from those side hustle days, or they might not understand what it's like to be a beginner or to try something new. I want for you to watch someone doing the work that they teach. It is literally so meta. Amy is teaching about how to build courses while selling her own course, but it is the best way you can learn. It's like immersion learning. Like, if I tossed you into Italy for 30 days, you would probably learn some Italian, right? I want for you to immerse yourself into understanding and learning from someone who is so incredible at what she does. So watch someone do the work. Like, I am the kind of person, this is so nerdy, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I am the person who signs up for almost every single launch, every single free training, every webinar. Facebook ads gets me all of the time, because I just want to watch people do the work. Like, I want to see how their launches, I want to see how they sell something. I want to understand how they're showing up. Like, I love learning by watching. And so watch them do the work. The third reason is that you get to learn more about her program, which the doors actually opened just a few hours ago. And that's Digital Course Academy. DCA is a game changer. It only opens up once a year, and it's a program that walks you through how to create a profitable digital course. Now, before you leave me here, this is super important. Amy's program is literally the solution, the hand-holding solution. It is the only implementation